With years of experience doing automated YouTube channels and running multiple of them, as well as running a team, both script writers, researchers, video editors, it can get pretty complex on how to get there in the first place, especially if you're a one-man band. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do the research for your videos and write the scripts effectively so that you can actually get good results, so you can also get audience retention way up. Because ultimately, if your videos are not keeping your audience stick around, your videos will die and YouTube's not going to promote them. So the better watch retention that you get on your videos, the more views that you're going to get naturally. Because YouTube, their goal is to keep your audience on YouTube. And if you can do that for as long as possible with your videos, YouTube's obviously going to promote your videos. I'm going to show you kind of the question I got here on Twitter about how I research for my videos. I don't do a whole lot of it anymore because I have writers and researchers to do this. But obviously I started to do this, like I couldn't just hire someone off the bat to start with. I had a lot of experience trying to figure this out and optimize the process. And so I'm going to show you what it looks like to write successful video scripts so that your content gets a lot of attention. I've had videos go viral. Over 3 million views on a recent one, and I've been able to get millions of views per video consistently. And a huge part of that is obviously the idea. So you got to figure out what the idea of the video is going to be, the topic. But the second most important thing is going to be your script. How do you keep your audience watching so you get better audience retention and YouTube starts to promote it more? So I'm going to kind of address my researching process here. It's going to actually be kind of stupidly simple because a lot of people, I feel like, overcomplicate it way too much. So I'm going to show you a very, very simple process on how to do this. I do have a more detailed way on how to do this in my free 7-day coaching program. So feel free to check it down below. There's a link where you can join 7 days of free coaching from me. Hurry before I start to charge people for it. I don't know why it's for free, but kind of to address the topic here, I'm going to show you my research process. One thing you've got to consider is I use Claude AI. It is one of the best script writers out there. You know, a lot of people use ChatGPT. It's still pretty good. ChatGPT is great. But Claude AI, if you're using 3.5 Sonnet, it's going to be one of the best, almost human-like writing. And obviously the prompt is going to be everything. You've got to figure out how to do the prompt properly. Otherwise, your output is going to, suffer for that as well. So let me show you kind of a walkthrough on how I do my researching phase, because it's going to be super important. One thing I do in my research is I use a tool called Teller. And this is the tool right here. I'll leave a link in the description. If you use the link there, you get 30% off when you get the paid version. You can try it out. I think there's a 7-day free trial. But I love Teller, not just for research, but also I'm creating a video using Teller right now. It lets me choose my camera screen and my face later. So I'll show you you got a layout. You can choose when to show your face and when to show your screen, different layouts. I can choose to have my camera there and my face there, or just choose to just show my face, or I can even just choose to just show my screen. So it's extremely powerful, and it lets you cut out all the dead spaces, as you can see here, which I've used, remove silences. But basically, this is how I do a lot of my research. So throughout this video, I'm doing research on a topic. So for example, this one's BlackRock. Let's say I want to create a documentary about BlackRock and, just how they invest and their portfolio, maybe how big they are to the point where it could be quite concerning. So that's kind of the topic that we're highlighting. While I'm doing research, I'm reading some of the most important stuff out that I want to highlight in the video. These are going to be, the transcript is going to include not all of my research. Like, that's a huge waste of time. Just highlight some of the things that you want to include in the video, some basically bullet notes, right? So obviously you're doing some research for maybe 30 minutes, and this video would be, about 30 minutes long. And obviously when you reduce it with this remove silences, it's going to skip all the parts where you're not talking. So don't say anything that you don't want to include in the transcript, because you're going to take the transcript and put it into AI. So under the captions or subs, or these are subtitles, I can click edit. And then what I'll just do is copy the subtitles to my clipboard. What I'll do is go to Claude and I will paste it here. Now I'm just going to go to the top of the prompt here. I'm going to hold Shift Enter. And then this is the prompt. So I'm going to say something like, all right, so what I'm doing is I'm going to provide context to the prompt so that AI knows what I'm writing about. So for example, I need to write a script for a 15-minute video about BlackRock, and more specifically, who owns BlackRock. Now, because I've done some research, I know who that is. So Vanguard and State Street are one of the biggest ones that own BlackRock, as well as BlackRock naturally owns the biggest share of themselves. And so I also include, and what type of power they have. I need to have a negative spin/approach to this topic and make my audience really consider the power of these three companies that they have. And so ultimately I'm telling Claude, hey, I need to take a negative approach to this because often people love the negative type of spin to videos. And so that's kind of the approach I'm taking here. Now, what I want to do is also tell it how to write. So for example, I'm going to tell it, I would like to include optimized writing tricks to get my audience to want to watch the whole video. Optimize the script for audience retention. Include open loops, which is super important. Curiosity hooks into the script to get my audience to keep watching and want to know more. Don't reveal everything right away. Keep them guessing to the next open loop and have a big reveal at the end that is teased in the intro of the script. So ultimately, you're trying to set up your audience for the expectations of what's in the video within the first 30 seconds of your video, maybe even less if you can. And then you've got open hooks, curiosity loops, or curiosity hooks, open loops that are slowly revealed throughout the video. In the hook, you are kind of teasing some of the biggest and ultimate gratification moments, the aha moments that the audience wants later towards the end of the video. That way they continue watching to the end. So that's kind of the context I'm providing here. And then the prompt is, so the next part of this in the prompt that I did was write a script that is interesting. And I have provided a sample of what my writing style should feel and sound like. That sample script is attached. So this is super important because you want to also write in a really interesting style and an interesting way. So what I did was I went to Lemino because he has fantastic scripts. His writing is fantastic. And I want to essentially emulate his style. So using an extension called Nextlev, I'll leave a link in the description. You get a discount if you use the coupon FROST20, you get 20% off. I'm going to copy the transcript. It makes it so easy. What I'm going to do is just paste it here. It pastes it as an attachment. As I said, the sample script is attached. So that's the writing style. Because this video did well, it's got millions of views. You also need to make sure that the video has quite a significant amount of views, but also really what you're looking for is a really good writing style and that keeps you interested and want to learn more and keep watching. The other part of this prompt is I have also pasted a transcript of some research I did. This is only some of the research I did, and I need you to do more and look outside of the given information to fill in the missing info and to help enhance the script. So I'm telling Claude, I've provided some information, but it's not the only stuff I want to include. It's just some of the top of mind stuff that I found and I want to include, but don't limit your output to just the research I did. With that said, what I also want to do is include sort of a disclaimer here. So don't limit your response to character limits. I expect this to take a few follow-ups in order to write the full script. This is so that if you have any character limits in your response, the quality of the script doesn't suffer. That's important because you don't want to make your script suffer just because Claude has a limit to how much it can respond. So I'm telling that, hey, this could potentially take a few follow-ups. Now I'm going to copy all this and just save it because I've got other really useful system that I can show you. But this is the prompt I'm going to send, and it's super in-depth, and the output is really going to be defined by your prompt. If you want to get access to this, I am adding some more of the writing styles and templates into my Accelerator program. In the free coaching that I provided in the link below, you'll get access to discounts to get that. So if you want a discount, just sign up to the free coaching that I give you for 7 days. And in that, you'll get a discount. Feel free to check that out. But I'm going to hit enter. And this is going to basically give me a response based on not just the research, but also the information and the prompt that I've provided. So it's going to give some editor notes. You can choose to, in your reply, to say, I don't want to include editor notes or anything like that, but I think it's totally fine. but what it's doing is giving me the response. So there's a number that's going to shock you, a number so large that it's difficult for a human mind to comprehend. But before I reveal it, you need to understand the story of how 3 companies quietly became the most powerful entities in human history. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So I want to know this number, but also want to know who these companies are. You've probably heard of BlackRock, you know, Trillion Assets Management. They're the largest, but the story is much deeper. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's really interesting. It's got some good curiosity hooks and some open loops that it wants to reveal later. It keeps things interesting. So it tells you why it did this and what it's done. It can also adjust the tone and the feeling. So once you get the first response, this is where you refine what you're going to do before you continue. So let's say you don't like the writing style. Say something like, if you don't like it, say, I don't like this response. I would like to change this, this, and this, and here's why. You're talking to it like a human. So if you are providing feedback to, let's say, one of your contractors, you are basically doing the same thing where you are talking to it like a human. I don't like this script because of X, Y, and Z. I want to change this, include this, take this out, whatever it might be. It's basically setting up the expectations for your video. So now let's say that I'm happy with the responses. I can go continue and it'll continue writing the script, basically like I'm talking to it like a human. So it's going to continue from where it finished that previous part of the script, and it's going to just continue to write and until you hit the end, or you have to click continue again. It's just a case of how long it actually writes. So continue to part 3, it says at the bottom there, so I'd say continue, it keeps going, and so on and so on. You can refine it as you continue to write, but this is a really powerful way to do your scripting. However, there's a little secret that probably not a lot of people know when it comes to writing your script, and this is also going to help you save time. So I'm going to show you how to use projects. So if I click on Claude on the top left and go to projects, and I create a new project, what I'll do is you can name it, you can give it any type of things that you're trying to achieve, like my channel. I'm a YouTuber that has a channel called XYZ. It's about this, this, and this. So what I'll do is, let's just say, I'll call this BlackRock, and I'll, goals, name of the channel, what it's about, and so on. Give it as much information as you can. Right? Then you create the project, and what you can do with this, because this is your individual project, so it's only about BlackRock. Every time you do a new video, you're going to create a new project. So what you can do is add content. So let's say you've had a researcher or you've done it yourself. You can provide your transcript in here that you copied from Teller. So you paste your transcript in here, add content. You can choose to upload from your device, or you can just add text. Name it, paste your research and prompt in here. So I think I actually have it. I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to cut this prompt out. So this is the transcript. So I'm going to paste my prompt in here. You can obviously adjust it, and you can refer to it as transcript because the text that you added in is titled transcript. So you can refer to that. Then you can also refer to, let's say, the example script. So I'm going to click on script. I'm going to copy the transcript, go to Claude, add content, just add content. I'm going to paste it in here. So script sample and example. So I add that in, and when I mention it in this project, it's going to refer to its project knowledge database. So you can add as much research into this. You can take screenshots of the research that you do on news outlets when you're doing your research and upload that to here. You can just copy and paste the entire research document. So what you can even do is, let's copy and paste this. Let's just scroll infinitely. Let's just say we're looking at this form and we like everything here. So I'm going to copy all of this. It doesn't matter if it copies names and stuff. It's just research. So I'll add content. I'll paste it in here. I'll call it research, and then you can refer to it as research, but also make sure that you include, don't limit your response to character limits. So you got to make sure it doesn't limit its response, but also This is only some of the research I did, and I need you to do more to look outside of the given information to fill any of the missing info and to help enhance the script. So you've also got to make sure that it doesn't limit its response to just the knowledge base, the project knowledge base that you created with your research, your transcript, the example script. You want to make sure it doesn't only source that, because there's going to be stuff or research that you don't know about. So you got to tell it to also include external sources that it's not provided in the project knowledge base, which is, I call a project knowledge base, you could just call it project knowledge, because that's what it refers to internally. So you got to make sure that you don't just limit Claude by not telling it something. If you don't tell it something, it's probably not going to consider it as much. However, if you tell it, don't limit it because of XYZ, and it goes, okay, I'm not going to limit the script because it wants me to take extra material from outside, information that the prompt doesn't have. I want to make sure I include that in my script. So that's a really powerful way to do your research, but also script your scripts. And I've been able to script an entire video in less than an hour. It's that simple. It's pretty easy. So do the research, 30 minutes at max, record your, what you're saying and the top of mind stuff you want to do. You don't even have to do 30 minutes. I did 5 minutes for this BlackRock video. And so then you include that in here, give it the prompt, set it up, fantastic. One little trick that I'll include is, I'm gonna hit enter on this prompt because now it's a BlackRock project. So it's gonna provide the results. Let's say that I continue with the script. I'm happy. It provides me everything I need. I've created the script. Continue. I'm going to wait until it's finished its response here. Okay, good. I'm going to click continue. Let's say I'm happy with the result. And then what I can do is, in Google Docs or, whatever script writing software that you want to put it in, you copy the entire script in bits. Like obviously there's part 1. So I'll click on the first one here. Okay, so I'll be able to copy it with the copy contents, paste that into my scripting document, go to the following one, I'll click copy, paste that as, the continuation of my script. Then what I can do is download that or just copy the entire document, paste it in here. So I'll paste it, and sometimes it'll just do it as an attachment because of how big the script is. And what you can say is, if you like it, and it's probably 90% of the way there, but when you paste it in here and you want to refine it, you paste the script as essentially an attachment, and you can say something like, here's the script that we've created. I would like to optimize it better for audience retention, include open loops, curiosity hooks, and see what it outputs as a result and how different it is from the original script that you've written to what it is now. And often it writes it even better. It's kind of funny. It's really awesome though. What I'll do is with that script, I also include the transcript again from the sample. So copy the transcript. I'll go back here and I'll paste it. So here's the sample. I'll mention the sample I'd like to include, or writing like this, the style, so on. You're basically almost repeating the prompt. And then you also paste your script that you've written with Claude, and you give it basically a very similar prompt to before, but you're not including limit your response to characters. All you're doing is, here's the script we've created, here's the sample that I would like to emulate, write it with audience retention in mind, curiosity hooks and open loops, optimize it for audience retention, and just send it. See what it does. Sometimes it writes parts of the script better, and you could supplement, and it's taken less than an hour for me to do this entire process. So I've done this for a lot of clients. I've done it with my own channels. Now I've also taught my team how to do this so that they can just, do it all, and I don't even have to, for the most part, review it until it's at the final video before it goes up. But ultimately, and my camera's died. But that's pretty much the entire process. If that was helpful, subscribe and stick around because I'm going to be posting more. If you want to learn more about when should I know if my YouTube channel that I'm investing in is worth continuing, or I've got to give up because it's just not getting the results I want, that video is right over here. So check it out before it disappears. I'll see you in that video because it's going to really give you some insights on when you should consider stopping a channel because it's not getting enough results. Remember, you can sign up for free coaching down in the description for 7 days. So check it out, and I'll see you in that video over here.